Praise Jesus, brethren. I want to believe that you're being well kept of the Lord. And this morning devotion from AIC Jericho, my name is Pastor Jeremy. And today I want to talk about something that a lot of times we tend to give up along the way because we do not trust the process, or we do not go through the process. And I'm talking about God will never show you the whole staircase or the whole stairway. And there are a lot of Bible stories that I can use to illustrate to you that even when you have heard and you're very sure that whatever you're trying to do or whatever you heard was indeed God, but things can really turn out to be otherwise, and you can doubt if God was indeed the one that said it. I want to use the story of Joseph for today's devotions, just to paint a picture to us that I can maybe mention a few. The book of Genesis, from chapter 37 onwards, we see Joseph, and he has different scenarios of how his story unfolds. And as I said, we are talking about God will never show you the whole staircase. We know the story of Joseph. He is born from Rachel, one of the wives that Jacob loved so much, and that is why he had to even work for more years for her. He is the 11th born of Jacob, but he is the firstborn of Rachel. And this guy is loved by his father, like real love. And this guy, as God is earmarked by God to become a great person later in life. But when you look at the process of becoming that which God has said, it's a lot too painful for him. And as I talk to us about Joseph, you can also connect your life. You can also see the things that you've gone through, and you can really agree with me that in most of the times, in fact, most of the time, God will never show you the whole staircase. He will show you a direction, or he will show you which way to go. But the things that you will go through until you become that which he desired, or he is spoken over your life, or he even showed you in a vision, in a dream, it can really take some twist for you. And some point, start doubting that, God, are you still there? And Joseph is here. He starts dreaming and seeing visions. I'll just paraphrase the whole story as I bring out the theme of God will never show you the whole staircase. He starts dreaming, and out of the love of his father, he has this special court and all that. And later on, out of the dreams, he sees his brothers bowing before him, and as he shares these dreams, these guys get jealous of him and say, "Hey, you can never become such." And they will never bow before him. But this is what happens. They decide, sit down and plan, hey, Ujamaa is we will kill him. And they have a plot to kill him. And remember, God is still planning to have this guy as one of the greatest men in the land of Egypt. And so these guys go, their plot to kill their brother is fully on the table and for implementation, and they start off. But before they could kill him, a few of his brothers have pity on him and say, instead of killing this guy, let's just sell him as a slave. And now he's coming out of death. He misses death by a whisker. But still remember that he will be the prime minister someday. He is sold to become a slave. And he lands in Potiphar's house, one of the greatest commanders in the land. And the wife tries to rape him, and he runs, but still accused falsely by Potiphar's wife. And he finds himself in prison. In prison, he stays there. In fact, he helps the cupbearer and the other guy. He interprets their dreams, but still, no one is still helping him out of that situation. And later on, it took, after these guys are released, the cupbearer and the other guy, after they are released from prison, Joseph had already asked them, please, when you get out there, please remember me, do not forget me. But when these guys get back to his position, the other one is, of course, executed, they forget. But because God is still faithful to that which he promised or he intended to make Joseph become, he caused the king to dream because the other fellow forgot. And if, assuming like today we receive a lot of prophecies of our lives, we are spoken to that you will be great. People say like, I see a great person in you. And we also tell ourselves as such, like we keep on encouraging ourselves that I want to be a very successful businessman. I want to be a successful preacher. I want to be successful, all the things that we've desired in our life. But the process of becoming, sometimes we can give up, and a lot of people have given up. The late Dr. Miles Monroe once said, the richest place in the world is the graveyard because there lies dreams that were never accomplished. And the main reason today that I believe is because sometimes we see that we have a picture of what we are going to become, but the process of becoming is what tears a lot of people down or wears them down, and others give up hope and die without even having accomplished that which they were supposed to become. If Joseph knew he was going to go through the pit, if Joseph knew that he was going to go through the prison, if he knew he was to have all this, even missed death by a whisker, to become the prime minister of the land, maybe he would say, God, I would rather not become the prime minister if this is what I will go through. But God, even with the greatest things that he has in our plans and destinies that he holds within his hands for us, the process can really be painful. And I'm here today to encourage you. That which you're going through doesn't mean that God has left you. Remember, he says that he will never leave us nor forsake us until the end of times. And so I want to encourage you to hold on, accept to go through the process as God trains you, as God equips you, as God builds your capacity. Because I want to believe if Joseph did not go through all this, being at the top of the nations, the second position in the nation would have been a challenge for him. But through all these challenges, he learned lessons to forgive, because when the brothers later come to Egypt looking for food, he was the one and he recognized them, but yet they could not recognize him. And some of the people that are going to cause you a lot of pain are meant to be there so that that plan of God, the will of God, will be accomplished in your life. I can attest here today, things that I have become today is because someone denied me something that I really needed. And because they said no, I went out of my way and did that which I could do to just make sure that I have it. What am I saying? A lot of people that celebrate you today will not help you become. But there are people that God has put along your way, your brothers that see you like the biggest enemies. Your relatives, that people that you felt they would help you become something, or they would be part of your journey, but they disappointed you. But because of that disappointment, I want to believe God was doing that so that he can, because God, one of the things that he does, and I have researched in this book, is that God will never want to share his glory with anything or anyone. And so anyone that would be put along the way that would take his glory, he will definitely remove them. And these people will, as much as you know, they can just make a call and your life is fixed, they will not do that. And God will cause them not to do that so that you can get to that which God desires. And so, even as you go through that first staircase that you can already see, and when you look at the staircase, of course, it goes up, then it cuts again. And so by the time you realize, then that one staircase that you can see, it is clear for you. The other one that you cannot see, God will still be there with you. He'll still be there with you. And so trust the process. As long as God has said it, He will see you through. Today you would be in the pit. Tomorrow you'll be in the prison. But the morning you wake up in prison, the same morning Joseph sat as the prime minister of the land of Egypt. That is how God works. Times and seasons belong to Him. Trust in Him. And that is devotion today. God bless you.